What I'm about to tell y'all I haven't heard before, so I doubt you have either. Caitlin Clark has done is grown the WNBA exponentially. She did in 5 weeks what would have taken 5 years. And as it pertains to draft viewership, she did in 5 days what would have taken 5 years.
So, it looks like the WNBA really can't handle things without Caitlin Clark. Seriously, ever since the Fever got knocked out of the playoffs last week, everything's just dropped. We're talking attendance, ticket sales, and even how many people are watching on TV. It's a pretty big deal, actually.
Look at this little chart right here. The Fever will have over 600,000 fans in attendance total this year, and the second best to that was in 1999 with the Washington Mystics at just over 400,000. So the Fever are going to account for over 200,000 more fans this year to their game.
And get this, the WNBA is trying really hard to get fans to watch by pushing A'ja Wilson. But honestly, it's just not hitting the same. It's a bummer, but it's clearly not working like they hope.
Caitlin's departure, do we think that these new WNBA fans are going to stick around for the rest of the playoffs? The Liberty Aces series might be one that draws some numbers. The disparity between 1.8 million and around 400,000 is wild, especially with football season being in full swing.
Now it's interesting because some fans totally get that Caitlin not being there is a problem for the league. But then you have others who are actually seeing this as a good thing for her. They think it's a chance for her to work on her media training, especially since they felt her answers to some of the drama weren't the best.
I want to be in this situation next year where I'm saying, do you remember when you people were giving...
The thing is, a lot of Caitlin's fans just stopped watching the WNBA completely. They were tired of all the hate she was getting and the way she was treated in big games. So now that she's not playing, they've completely checked out. And yeah, everyone's finally seeing just how real the Caitlin Clark effect truly is.
Saying that she's 22, media training is not there. 1 year afterwards, she's still in the same position.
Meanwhile, Caitlin's finally getting some well-deserved rest. But the WNBA, they're really going to have to hustle through these playoffs, just trying to hold on to even half the viewers. If she were still playing, she'd probably be getting shoved, poked, and slammed to the ground by other players. And let's be real, without any fouls called. And because of all that, even with her amazing performance, she didn't even get a third game against the Sun. Look, the WNBA has definitely had its share of ups and downs over the years, but there's no denying it. Ever since Caitlin Clark came into the league, everything just totally shifted. She's a generational talent. Seriously. And she brought this excitement and attention that the WNBA had been wanting for ages. Her impact was instant, not just with how she dominated games, but also how she pulled in so many new casual fans and admirers.
Number of viewers for WNBA games that Caitlin Clark is not in is like 3 to 4 million. When she's in the game, when it's her game playing, it's like 17 million.
Yeah. Well, I also look at the attendance in the arena.
Yes.
It's 8 to 10,000 everywhere else. Caitlin Clark, 17, 18,000.
Yep. But here's the thing. Clark did more than just play amazing basketball. She totally revitalized the whole league. Now that her season's over, after that loss to the Connecticut Sun, the WNBA is really struggling to keep up that momentum without her. It feels like the league's hit a breaking point, and they just can't recreate that incredible energy that Caitlin brought every single game.
Caitlin Clark, she is the first Division I player, and that is male or female, to record 3,000 points, 900 assists, and 800 rebounds.
What's crazy is the WNBA has pretty much collapsed in a lot of ways. It's super clear now that Caitlin Clark not being around has caused a huge drop for the entire league. Think about it. When Clark was playing, the WNBA felt alive. Fans who usually wouldn't even watch women's basketball were totally glued to their screens, just waiting to see what she'd do next.
All the women that have been calling for the equality, and now that there is the chance for them to start getting paid more because the exposure's up. Because it's her, you have people like, what's her name, Jamelia Hill or what? I can't stand her.
Yeah.
You got these women who are coming on here and they're saying it's because she's...
Let's be real. Without Clark, The WNBA is just missing that spark. The numbers totally prove it too. Both viewership and attendance have taken a serious dive. Everyone was so optimistic heading into the playoffs, especially after Clark's incredible regular season. The league and the fans hoped all that interest she generated would just carry right over, bringing huge engagement and viewership. But nope, that didn't happen. Since she left, the stadiums aren't packed like they should be, and the TV ratings have plummeted. Just to give you an idea, when Caitlin Clark plays, she consistently brings in over 1 million viewers. Yeah, you heard that right. 1 million people tune in just for her. That kind of viewership is basically unheard of for the WNBA recently, as they've always struggled to get those big numbers. People literally arranged their entire schedules around her games, making sure they could watch live, whether they went in person or watched from home. And now, without Caitlin Clark, the WNBA is barely getting 300,000 viewers per game. That's a shocking drop in viewership, and it really shows just how important and influential she is. When Clark's on the court, people are tuning in for her play style, her personality, and how she just shows up in those clutch moments. She's an athlete who goes beyond just basketball, but when she's not playing, it just feels like nobody really cares.
There is a Caitlin Clark effect on all of basketball, and especially on women's basketball ratings. Kudos to her. She has elevated an entire sport.
Listen, the league was really flourishing when she was playing, but now it feels like it's just limping to the finish line. That same level of excitement is just totally missing. Caitlin isn't just a fantastic player, she's a unique athlete, and people are just captivated by her. When that special quality isn't there, the interest just fades away. Yeah, she can score from anywhere, throw perfect passes, and dominate games all by herself. But her influence goes way beyond just the stat sheet. Very few athletes can match her energy, her excitement, and that totally unpredictable play. Her games filled stadiums, and millions watched from home because she's more than just a player. She's a total spectacle. You never know what she's going to do next, but you know it's always going to be something special.
Caitlin Clark is coming. Some people think she's already arrived. I don't. I think she's going to be even better. I think that what she has done for women's basketball, especially in this country, has been phenomenal. There is no woman, no matter how great you were as a player, Cheryl Swoops, there is no woman who should negate mentioning Caitlin Clark and what Caitlin Clark is doing.
And honestly, she's just magnetic, right? She doesn't just play basketball. She puts on a show every single time she steps on the court with her fearless attitude and those insane deep threes. Fans are just drawn to Clark because she has this unique way of making every game feel like a can't-miss event. They feed off her energy, her passion, and her total drive to win. But when she's not playing, the WNBA just loses that magic. The league becomes less of a spectacle and more like, well, just another basketball game. And sadly, that doesn't get the same attention. Even the most loyal WNBA fans are finding it hard to stay engaged without her because that spark she brings is truly irreplaceable. And when she's not playing, all that excitement just fizzles out, leaving a huge void that no other player or team seems to be able to fill.
Caitlin Clark, #1 in jersey sales, Angel Reese 2, Sabrina 3, Kate Martin 4. We talked about this earlier in the season. I feel sad that Kate Martin also hasn't gotten as much playing time the second half of the season. I feel like she deserves more, or maybe she deserves a different team. How crazy would that be if she went to Indiana? Just saying.
Plus, fans are even more frustrated because of how the WNBA seems to treat Caitlin when she is playing. You'd think a player of her caliber, someone who brings in huge crowds and boosts the whole league, would get protected and respected on the court, right? But time and again, the refs have just treated Caitlin unfairly. They refuse to give her the same calls that other players in the league would easily get. Whether she's getting fouled on a three-pointer or hacked on a drive, the whistle hardly ever seems to go her way. Instead of acknowledging her talent and ensuring a fair game, officials have just let her be treated like she's the problem out there. This disrespect from the referees is just baffling, especially when you consider how crucial Clark is to the league's success. It's like the WNBA doesn't even realize she's their biggest asset. Instead of promoting and protecting their rising star, they just let her get mistreated. It makes you wonder if the league actually doesn't want her to succeed, or worse, if they just don't care about the harm this treatment causes. Fans see this, and they're completely fed up. They can absolutely tell when a player is being unfairly singled out, and all this ongoing prejudice against Caitlin has made so many lose faith in the league. Instead of building on the passion and loyalty Clark brings, this kind of abuse is driving fans away, making them question what the league's even trying to do. Clark's fans are incredibly devoted, but they are absolutely exhausted by all the hate, the bias, and the way Caitlin is treated on the court. It comes from rival players targeting her, referees who seem way tougher on her than anyone else, or even the league itself. It often feels like there's an agenda against her. Instead of celebrating their biggest star, the WNBA just seems to allow this unfair treatment to continue. As a result, a lot of fans have just hit their breaking point. They've stopped watching, asking why they should support a league that goes out of its way to discredit its most talented and marketable player.
Cheryl Swoops, all y'all other haters out there, and I'm gonna call you out, man, because it's blatantly obvious why you're hating on the young lady. If she was black, man, everybody be going crazy about Caitlin Clark right now. But she not. And what I appreciate about it is just that. She ain't.
So, here's what happened. Fans boycotting WNBA games after Caitlin's playoff elimination isn't just about her not being in the postseason. It's really about the bigger picture, the principle of it all. They saw how she was treated all season long, dealing with prejudice from officials and getting absolutely no protection from the league. Now they're showing they're just not interested in a product that doesn't support or protect its biggest star. A lot of fans feel totally disconnected from the WNBA without Caitlin, and you can see that in the massive drop in viewership. Clark's fan base is loyal to her, not really to the league as a whole. Without her playing, they just don't have a reason to keep watching. And it really shows how the WNBA's failure to treat Caitlin fairly has led to a backlash that's now hurting their bottom line. The harsh truth: the WNBA is going to suffer big time without Caitlin Clark. Before she arrived, the league often struggled to grab mainstream attention. Sure, there were some big names and a dedicated fan base, but the general public just wasn't that interested. The league often got overshadowed by other sports and just couldn't break into bigger conversations. It's crystal clear that Caitlin Clark single-handedly revitalized the WNBA, and without her, the league is right back to facing an uphill battle. She changed everything, but now that she's gone, the WNBA is reverting to its old self, struggling to attract public attention. That surge of interest during Clark's games, it's totally faded now, and the league is just struggling with a complete lack of excitement.
It looks like we're not going to be seeing Caitlin Clark play basketball again for another 200 days. An ESPN reporter said at the end of the Indiana Fever Connecticut Sun Game 2 that Caitlin Clark almost definitely will not be playing basketball this offseason. So no overseas and no 3-on-3 unwrapped.